What's going on, YouTubers? How are you? Waiting for our family here at Facebook to pop on up, and we'll go ahead and get started from there. And yeah, that's where we'll go from. You know what? I might even change this music a little bit. We'll let it ride. We'll let it ride. Today is the mold can kill us. And it's a quick mix, motivational dinner mix. Here we go. I'm online here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? It's your guy DeMarcus, and we're talking about here motivation. So hello to you all. Hello, special people. I appreciate you guys being here. So I'm going to go right into it. The mold can kill us. Now, a lot of you know that I've had mold issues in my life as far as in my lungs, really bad, all over the place, just horrible, right? But that's not the mold I'm talking about. Now, that mold can also kill you. But this mold I'm talking about is a completely different type of mold. And you're probably wondering, what kind of mold am I talking about? So, have you ever noticed that you meet the perfect person and they're amazing and they fit everything you want, but like maybe a couple things, so you let them go or whatever. Like, oh man, they would be so perfect to date, but... Or have you ever noticed, oh man, I would love to go to that place, but... Or, man, I really like that thing, except for it... So what I'm talking about is the mold is not the black stuff all over the place that gets in your lungs and makes you go, not that mold. The mold I'm talking about is the mold that you created that everything must fit inside of in order to become something of you. And by of you, I mean relationships, I mean car, I mean house, I mean even the way your children act, the foods you eat, the exercises you do, the travel you do, the job you take, all these things must fit within your mold. Some people don't feel like they feel like they're above working at McDonald's. I understand that's something you feel. But the mold that we have for ourselves is actually designed to keep things away from us more than they can keep things in us. Here's the example I have, right? So I'm gonna use this because it's right here. You see this little case right here, right? Okay, you see how it has tacks in, right? So this little case can hold things. If it wasn't for the tacks in there, I might be able to put, this little thing in here. It might be a little bit awkward, but it's still there, or something else in there. But there is more things outside of this box that won't go into it than there are things that will fit within the confines of the box size that's in front of us, right? So this is as big as it is. So there's only a few things that can fit within there. I mean, obviously there's a lot of things, and we should be specific on what we want to put in our boxes, but there's so much more out there that we are eliminating if that's the only box we choose. Even though I got a bigger bag here. So we got a bigger bag. Now this bag here can fit a lot more things in it, right? It's got an open container. I can take out the little pieces and everything else, so we can fit things in there. Ironically enough, these are compartmentalized. That's funny. But the things can fit in here. But once again, I can't fit a certain type of car in here, because it's not big enough. I can't fit a certain type of this, that, the other in here. So you have to understand that we create a mold, and everything that we like and everything that we want goes into our mold. Guarantee it, no matter what. And we base things on whether they're good for us or bad for us based on the mold that we created. Now, here's the problem with that. When did your mold get created? When was your mold started to be predicted? Who created your mold? Now, a lot of you guys think that we created our mold, and that's true. Our mold was probably created whenever we were kids and we were growing up, and we found out things that we liked and that we were praised for. And that's what fit into our mold, or things that we were told by, guess who? Our parents. Our parents are a big responsibility of our mold. I saw a lot of that growing up because I interracially date. So when I was growing up, inside of my mold, if I wanted to date a girl of a different race or color, usually it was white at the time, they said that they couldn't date me because of their parents. And it was just something that was. But that was the mold that they had been brought up in, so that is all they had. Oh, I can't date you, my parents, they'll make them sad, At first it started to get on my nerves. But then after a while, I was like, that's unfortunate, because you're not going to be able to utilize who I am as a person and have me be something important to you because of a decision that you made that you weren't even a part of. So a lot of our mold that we have has been created from what we were praised for as a child. 2, what we liked as we got and we ate as a child. 3, what we were told as a child. And 4, the things that we didn't like defines our mold the most. That's what makes it so deep. So we actually go into this And we look at all the things that we don't want and we say, well, I don't want that, so let me build up my wall on that side so it doesn't cover that. Now, that's a problem. The problem is that most of the times the things that we don't like, we don't know if we don't like them anymore. We just made that up when we were a child or when we were younger, and we go by that. But the thing is, everything in the world changes and grows and evolves, right? Then why in the world do we not let our mold evolve? Why do we not let our box evolve? Then what we're going to place in our box evolve and give everything a true chance? We stick and we stay in the same situation, and we get the same type of men or women, and we wonder why, oh man, I can't find a good guy. Well, what does your mold keep telling you want? Because what you're going to find is that when you have a situation at hand, right here, you're actually going to say a truth. There's a truth that you believe that's in your box, that governs your box, things that fit in here. You know, if I don't like chocolate ice cream is not going in my mold, okay? So here you have something that fits. So if you say, I cannot find a good guy, all good guys are dogs. So all guys are dogs. What you're going to do is you're actually going to be able to find men who fit the story for what you exactly believe. That's what your subconscious does. Your subconscious, its only job is to make you happy. Your subconscious actually doesn't care whether or not it's a positive or a negative. It does not care about these things. What it cares about is making sure that you are right. Because think about it, you and your subconscious are the same. Subconscious meaning below your thought, okay? Things that you're thinking below your thought that you're not even thinking, the programs that you have. So if you want a different life, if you want a different outcome, if you want a different situation, if you want a different love life, if you want a better job, if you want different kids who are going to act a different way, if you want a better job, if you want a better car, you have to break the mold. You have to be willing to go in there and say, why do I not like this? Why is this? Do I have walls up against this particular thing? And here's the other thing, ladies and gentlemen. Don't punish your future for your past. Now, we obviously know that's true in dating. We obviously know that's true. But that's also true in jobs. For example, you don't want to do a certain job because the last job did you wrong. Or you don't want to date a certain type of person because that last job did you wrong. Or you don't like a certain situation because the last time did you wrong. Ladies and gentlemen, it's not the same. We make it the same because we have to categorize things. And if we categorize it, it makes it easier to put into our what? Into our mold, into our box. So ladies and gentlemen, be very aware of why you're saying what you're saying and why you're doing what you're doing. And it might be childhood you. It might be childhood you who is making up the rules for you being an adult. Because I know kids don't watch this video. So I know I'm talking to adults. So imagine if your 6-year-old self, your 8-year-old self right now is running the show and driving the car and making you go where you got to go, and you're sitting in the back seat. You've got to tell them to pull over and stop, get them out, put them in the back seat, strap them down, and drive for yourself and find out what in the world you actually like. Don't take the opinion of what you fits in your mold. Examine why your mold is the way it is. And that's all I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen. You have the ability to get anything and everything you want to in your life, but if it doesn't fit in your box, you might throw it away. So think about this. If it's a blessing that's supposed to be given to you, but it can't be given to you because it doesn't fit in your box, then that means God or the universe or whoever you believe in, that means they've got to throw that away. Well, I tried to give it to them, but obviously it didn't fit in what they believed to be their, to be given to them, believed to be what they want. So if it doesn't fit within what they want, then I've got to let it go. I can't give them a blessing. It won't work because the molds here, it says only A, B, and C. And I think, and D is the blessing you've been waiting for all your life. But the problem is you can't get D because A, B, and C only fits in your box. You've got to understand that, ladies and gentlemen. We've got to understand that even though we want A, B, and C so bad, sometimes A, B, and C is what our little selves inside of us want. And D is the grown-up version of it. And it might be so much better for us. And it might be so much greater for us. But we don't take the time out to explore that. And that's what I want you to do. Take some time in the next couple days if you want to. I really think it might help you. And sit down with yourself and say, why is it that I have the things that I want? Why is it that I have the things that I choose, the men that I choose, the women that I choose, the jobs that I choose, the car that I choose, the house that I choose, the neighborhood that I choose? We all have molds. We all have a mold. Now we have to figure out why. And once you figure out that, break that bad boy up and use pieces of that mold to build yourself a new mold, bigger, better, that can hold more and be more accepting to the world. And ladies and gentlemen, that's all I have for you today. I appreciate you. Thank you very much for coming. And remember, I believe and I love each and every single one of you. I really do. And I just want you to know that you're amazing and great. And I'll talk to you tomorrow. Happy voting day for those of you who haven't voted. And I will talk to you soon. Bye now. Pew, 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 pew. Finger guns.